Hey, what's up, everybody? Dennis Cole on here. Hey, as I'll be fucking with Warhammer and shit. So this is a new video, new type of video I'm gonna be doing. We're going to be getting into my most recent game of 40K that I played. I'm gonna assess everything, and we're just gonna go over all of the shit that happened in the game. So, starting off here, I decided I'm just gonna run Drukhari. That is, I haven't played him in a bit. I figured I'm gonna play him, see how it goes, because I was thinking about selling it. So, came to the realization I'm not. List was really cool. They are super hard to play, but I'm pretty sure the game I'm pretty sure I did everything right. So we're just gonna get into it real quick. So I played against Black Templars. So the list, I was originally thinking it was going to be a bad matchup, but as you'll see at the end, it was not a bad matchup at all. I won 90-3. So it should have actually been like 5 or something like that, maybe, or no. Yeah, it was 90-3. So the mission was Mission S. So that would have meant the mission was linchpin, raise banners. So he actually wouldn't have gotten anything for raise banners. So it's only battle line units that can do it. But he only got 3 points, like I said. So we're just going to get into the list that I ran. So what I ran, so we had my man Drazar, Lilith Hesprax, Yuri, and Rakarth, along with an Archon with Arch Raider. So Arch Raider gives you a 9-inch scout move. Also, if you're in a transport, yeah, so it gives you Scout 9 if you're in a transport. So I did that. I have 2 squads of Cobalite Warriors with the Blaster Shredder, Dark Lance Shuriken Cannon, and a Phantasm Grenade Launcher on the Sybarite. After that, I have a 5-man Rack Squad with the Hex Rifle, Liquefier Gun, and Ossifactor. And after that, I have 10 Witches. Very just simple stuff. Hectari Blade, Splinter Pistol, just default loadout, and then I put a Blast Pistol on the Hectrix. After that, I have 2 5-man Incubi squads, 2 5-man Mandrakes, and 5 Scourges with Drukhari Haywire Blasters. And then, after that, we got 5 Hellions. I just gave, that's again default loadouts, and 6 Reavers with 2 Heat Lances. Alright, after that, we have a Kronos with the Spirit Siphon and Spirit Vortex. With the Spirit Vortex, already comes with that, my bad. So, we ran a Kronos, and then I have a 2-man Talos squad. They have a Liquefier Gun and Talos Gauntlet along with the Twin Haywire Blasters. 2 Ravagers with Dark Lances. And then to finish the list off, we have a Raider with a Dark Lance and 3 Venoms with 2 Shuriken Cannons. So, pretty much what I did. So, we're just going to go over what led what. So, the Archon with Arch Raider went with Incubi in a Venom. Drazar went with Incubi in another Venom. And then I put Lilith in the Witches in a Raider. Just to just make it more efficient, I guess. To have the whole squad in there. It was because I was going up against a lot of bodies. I needed something to shred them, and I think 5 extra witches would have been able to do that just a little bit better, even though Lilith is the main damage dealer in that squad. So after that, I had 1 squad left to put in there. So I could have either put Urian and his Racks in the Venom, or I could have done 5 cabs split into the Venom. So I decided to put 5 Cobalites into the Venom to split them into another unit. I would say this paid off pretty nicely because I had to sticky multiple objectives. But anyway, so what goes with what? So it's going to be Drazar Thinky Lelth, which is Urian with the racks. Simple enough. Okay, so let's get into what my opponent was playing. So they were on Black Templars. You know, it's a very iconic matchup, I suppose. But anyways, so Black Templars, pretty much my games for literally everybody has Space Marines. So I was just expecting to go into Space Marines. But anyways, so his list was Chaplain Grimaldus, a Marshal, an Ancient, Apothecary with two 20-man Primaris Crusader squads, 6 Blade Guards, 5 Sword Brethren, Land Raider Crusader, and I believe that's it. So, pretty much, so I didn't actually know this wouldn't have worked. So it was, so Grimaldus goes with the Crusaders, Ancients, and fucking other guy. Yeah, the Ancients and the Marshal go in with the other Crusader squad. They're going to be in the Land Raiders. I found out just today, actually, that wouldn't have worked because the max capacity is 16 on the Land Raiders. I think in a previous edition it might have had 20, but at the same time it was, because he was just talking about different editions the whole time and how they was better and shit. But regardless, that was the list. Oh, there's 10 Infernus Marines also. I forgot that. There's 10 Infernus Marines. I was kind of afraid of that. But luckily it was on Reaper's Wager, so I could just shut off an Overwatch. And then just, if I had to do it in my movement phase, I could just bait the Overwatch and go in. Very simple stuff. So, what I did, so we deployed, obviously, there'll be a picture up to indicate deployment, which is right here. And so I ended up going first on initiative. So he deployed first, and then I went first. Very simply enough, so I deployed my Scourges. They were behind a building, so they couldn't be shot at, but I was right. I could move out, shoot the Land Raider, and then move out. There's a Redemptor as well in that list. So what happened was I deployed everything. I tried to hide all my shit as best I could. I didn't know that the Land Raider Crusader kind of sucked balls and just had a bunch of bolters and shit. So I was just deploying in fear of that, trying to respect it. But my main priority was popping the Land Raiders to get the Crusaders out, and then I could just try and avoid them, was the idea. So we'll see how that goes. So it was turn 1. I had lines of fire with my Ravagers and the Scourges as mentioned. So what I did was I used the Ravagers to soften up the Land Raider, just the regular Land Raider, on the left flank. So I did a bit of damage to it. After that, I sent the Scourges in with the Haywire Blasters, and I did 15 wounds. I did 15 mortals to it with devastating wounds because they have twin linked, or no, they do not have twin linked. I apologize. I empowered them so they got full hit rerolls. So I did 15 damage to it. I did not get any rerolls or nothing. 15 damage to it. That just popped it because I already put some damage on it with a Dark Lance. So it blew up. Didn't kill anything when all the shit had to come out, which that was fine. I just needed them to stay out of my face for a little bit. That was the whole issue with that. And then I took some pot shots at the Redemptor Dreadnought. I didn't really accomplish a whole lot, but that's all right because I didn't know it just had the heavy onslaught cannon, so I wasn't gonna get any big damage into my vehicles or nothing. There was just a ton of low AP, little to no AP, just one damage weapons here. So I ended up just doing that. I moved around. I had my mandrakes infiltrated so I could get some secondary play done. Ended up sabotaging turn 1 to get some early points. And then went to his turn. He disembarked with the other Land Raider, the Land Raider Crusader. All of his shit came out. And he charged into 2 mandrakes instead of the Raider with Lilith in it, which, is kind of weird, but what can you do? I was thinking with pile in and consolidate, he would have got into them, but he didn't. But regardless, turn 1 was rather uneventful for him. And then we're going to go into turn 2. So turn 2 for me was very, very eventful. We're going to just check this out real quick. So I got Assassination. I just discarded that. So I ended up getting Engage on all fronts and no prisoners for my turn 2 secondaries. So what I did was simply enough, I disembarked my Venoms with the Incubi in them. So I got them in the table quarters. I moved some Cobblites up. I used Scintillating Tempo to shut off Overwatch for the Incubi so you couldn't Overwatch into them during my movement phase. And then after that, we decided to go back to some more shooting. I used my Scourges again to blow up the Land Raider after putting some pot shots into it. After that, we just went in, disembarked with my Witches and Lilith, moved my Taloses up. So I was set up to just charge with as many units as I possibly could to try and eliminate the Crusader squad over there. And then I'd already done a decent bit of damage to the Crusader squad on the left flank. So I was going to try and clean it up with my Archon and Incubi. They didn't do the job, unfortunately. They were all killed except for the Archon, and he just thugged it out for round 3. Where he just ended up killing. He didn't kill the other 2 characters in the unit, but he killed everything else. And we're going to go over to the main action here, which was Lilith and Taloses and all that shit going into the Primaris Crusader squad. So what happened here was I went in and Lilith killed 8 Marines by herself because I empowered the unit, so it was plus 1 AP. So it was AP minus 3 on the blades. So I killed 8 Marines right there. The Witches killed 1 and put a wound on another. So that was how Lilith killed 8. I did the Witches first and then Lilith. So Witches did total 3 wounds. Total 3 damage to the Intercessors. So killed 1, put 1 wound on another. And then, like I said, Lilith killed 8. And then the Taloses killed, I believe, 4 or 5 after that. So that was pretty cool. Fight back. He ended up piling in. Tried to kill the Taloses instead of the Witches, which I don't know, but hey, I wasn't playing the Templars. But next one that we're gonna do, was the Draz and Incubi into the Infernus Marines. I believe I killed all but 2 of them, and that was as far as it got over there. So after that, we're going to go to his turn 2, and his turn 2 was pretty simple as well. I'd killed most of his shit at this point. It was pretty crazy just how high damage I had. So he scored linchpin. He got 3 points. So he only controlled the 3 objective markers. Compared to me, I scored 8 because I controlled 2. And then at this point, there wasn't really a whole lot left to do. He was stuck in combat with all his major units. His Redemptor got blew up by Dark Lances. So he only had like a couple units left on the table. And so we had Blade Guards. So his Blade Guards moved up. They tried to kill Draz, and it didn't work out. So Drazar ended up killing them on the fight back. The Talos finished off the rest of the Crusader squad. So the only dude that was left was Grimaldus. The Servitors were also all killed at this point. So like I said, all that left was Grimaldus going into turn 3. So turn 3, I scored 15 points on Linchpin because of... So I scored 15 on Linchpin because I controlled 4 objective markers. I controlled my home one, I controlled his deployment, and then I controlled the other 2 on the battlefield. It's pretty simple. The only one I didn't control is the one that just had the Archon and the 2 characters fighting out on it. Good old Shadow Fields, just not letting anything through. It's pretty cool. But I digress. So turn 3 is pretty simple. I just used my Reavers to fly around. Used my Hellions to shoot a bunch of Splinter Pods into the Servitors for Grimaldus to kill them. And then after that, I just shot Dark Lances at Grimaldus till he died. Again, very simple stuff here. Nothing too crazy going on at this point. So that was a whole squad dead. I had Overwhelming Force and Area Denial as my secondaries. So Area Denial is really easy because you didn't have anything left to be in the center, and I just had to move a model up to the center to get it. So we ended up doing that. It was pretty simple. And then after that, he said he just called the game. He conceded. So after that, I just decided I was just going to play it out for the rest of my movement and all that shit, see if I could score any more secondaries. So I ended up getting Secure No Man's Land and Recover Assets. So I ended up doing both of those, got 5 points on each. After that, moved to turn 5. We got Cull the Horde and Display of Might. I discarded Cull the Horde, and I got marked for death. I ended up proccing that as well. I killed the rest of the units on the table. And I did not get Battle Ready bonus. He didn't either. He was close to having all his shit painted than me. I still have a lot I need to work on for Drukhari. But honestly, I think it would have been better if there was just more Crusaders that I had to deal with. You know, the good old Black Tide. Very hard army, I think, for me to deal with. I haven't faced it yet, but it seems very difficult for me if you're facing 100 bodies. Because there's only so much you can really do about it when most of the shit you're taking is just Dark Lances and stuff like that. So I had pretty limited firing power into Marine bodies. I was really good into the vehicles. But it's one of those situations, I think, if you took better vehicles into me, it would have been a bit harder. But that was the battle report. Just under 20 minutes. So, thank you for watching. And I should have more of these coming out down the pipeline. So, again, thank you for watching. Let me know if you like these. Goodbye.